Hi there, time for another one of my video reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about a graphic novel called Dark Knight, which is by Paul Dini and is beautifully drawn by Eduardo Risso. Now, this is, for me, certainly not been an easy read. It's been one I've been meaning to get to for a long time. It's not your typical graphic novel. It deals with sort of like characters like Batman and his entire rogues gallery. It even has a couple of Neil Gaiman characters make a cameo. But it's not about those characters. It is about Paul Dini. Now, Paul Dini, you may or may not know, was one of the main writers on the Batman animated TV series, considered one of the best animated adaptations of Batman ever. One of the best adaptations of Batman ever. And he was responsible for creating the Harley Quinn character, which had its genesis in that TV series. But this particular graphic novel is about him getting mugged. And how he deals with that, how he heals from that, and how Batman and various aspects of his life help him through it. And it's an intensely personal piece of work, and it deals with sort of mental health and self-care, and loneliness, and what is meaningful in a life, and it's biographical, and it takes from sort of like early formative bits of his childhood through the lens of this moment where he gets mugged, and then how he deals with that in post, and how it affects his work and his life and his relationships, and it puts a lens up to his life, and in some ways allows him focus. But it's beautifully told in the comic medium, which obviously is something that is very close and very personal to him, and it's very close and it's very personal to me, and it speaks to me very deeply and very emotionally. I'm going to read just a small part, because he narrates an awful lot of this, so it's quite nice to dip in and give you some of his words as he's spoken them in the actual novel. It goes without saying I was not one of the bold kids, and never part of the gang. And so I took pains to avoid the world of childhood bravado mixed with herd mentality. Though it's a painful truth that kids who consider themselves invisible sometimes make excellent targets. Probably explains why I've never been much of a sports fan. Was I mad? Sure. Would I have liked to have pounded those guys? Absolutely. But to us quiet, lonely kids, those moments of spontaneous self-righteousness always came too late. Like when we were slinking home, fighting back tears and thinking about the defiant remarks we should have made, and the brave actions we could have taken. Besides, when it came to being colourful, we invisible kids learned to carry our colours on the inside. We let those colours out when we did things we loved. Drawing, music, acting. Those things that defined us and made us glow. As for me, the thing that made me visible was my imagination. Stories were my passion. Whether they were from books, comics, or cartoons, I learned them all by heart, and was as familiar with the characters as if they were members of my own family. And all this is beautifully illustrated And no matter the reality of what's being spoken about or said, and I mean, from the opening page of the actual painful reality of what we're actually dealing with is very much laid bare. This is a book that is based in real life and in real psychological thoughts and reality of happening, but it's intercut and intertwined with Batman and the mythology, and various aspects of that canon become parts of his psyche. It's a healing book. I don't know how to actually put into words how beautiful this is and how raw it is, but how helpful. This is a comic book that you will put down, but it won't leave you. And you'll think about it, and you'll think about how it possibly reflects aspects of your own life, and hopefully, I think this is what Paul is hoping when he writes this, is that it will help other people. It's taken me a long time to actually get to this book, but I'm very glad I have now. And in some ways I feel it's helped me, and I hope that you go and seek it out and then it helps others. I've got mine, of course, as always, from my local Dark Side Comics in Chelmsford, but go to your local comic book store, find this book, read it, absorb it, and hopefully take its lessons forward. It's beautifully told, it's beautifully illustrated, but the story is raw, it's real. It deals with response to tragedy and pain and feelings of self-worth, and if you have an inkling or are exploring aspects of yourself in that respect in any capacity, then you must read this book, and hopefully it will prove insightful and helpful, and you'll be able to take it forward in your life. A bit longer than usual, but thank you very much for listening to me today. I hope that you'll go and check this book out, and thank you very much for stopping by today.